Welcome to Unfaithful Secret, your go-to channel for love affairs, betrayal, and revenge that will keep you hooked. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling stories. Betrayal doesn't come from enemies. No, it comes from the people who know your secrets. Who know your weaknesses. Who know exactly how to destroy you. I never imagined my wife, Lauren, would be one of them. But the night I turned on the TV and saw her, smiling, laughing, holding another man's hand. That was the moment I realized I'd been living a lie. The news anchor's voice rang in my ears. Tonight, an exclusive interview with businessman Daniel Cross and his fiancée, Lauren, who just celebrated their engagement. Fiancé. Engagement. My hands trembled. My vision blurred. Then Lauren spoke. For years, I was trapped in a toxic, controlling marriage, but now, I'm free. And just like that, she erased me. I wasn't her husband. I was her abuser. Her past. Her mistake. And the worst part? The world believed her. Because by the next morning, the police were at my door. When I heard the pounding on my front door, I thought it was a mistake. Even as I opened it and saw the flashing red and blue lights, the uniformed officers, the way my neighbors peeked through their windows. It still didn't feel real. "Are you Jason Carter?" one of the officers asked. "Yeah, what's this about?" They didn't answer. They just grabbed me. Handcuffed me. Dragged me outside like I was some kind of animal. I was in shock. My neighbors whispered. Some recorded. And as I turned my head, I saw her. Lauren. Standing at the end of the driveway. Watching. Tears in her eyes. Shaking her head like she was disappointed in me. And right then, I knew. This wasn't a mistake. This was a setup. Sitting in the back of that police car, my mind raced. How did this happen? How did my life, a life I built with love, with trust, with loyalty, turn into this nightmare? I used to believe I had it all. A successful career. A beautiful wife. A future. Lauren and I met 8 years ago. She was charming, ambitious, and too perfect to be real. But I didn't see it then. I was too blinded by love. Now, as the car pulled away and the sirens blared, I realized that the woman I loved was the reason my life was falling apart. And I had no idea why. Looking back, I should have seen the signs. The lies. The little cracks in her perfect act. But when you love someone, you ignore things. You tell yourself it's nothing. That was my first mistake. I remember the first time something felt off. It was a small thing. A missed call from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, until Lauren's phone lit up with the same number. She saw it. She froze. And for a split second, her face changed. It was subtle, but I caught it. Like she was terrified. Then she smiled, grabbed her phone, and laughed. "Spam call," she said, tossing it onto the couch. But something inside me whispered, that was a lie. I should have listened to that voice. Because that call was the beginning of the end. A few months later, I found the first real clue. Lauren was in the shower. Her phone was on the nightstand. And for the first time in our marriage, she forgot to lock it. I hesitated. But then I saw it, a message from a contact named Daniel. Daniel Cross. The same name I would hear on live television months later. The message was short. "Can't wait to see you tonight." I booked our usual room. My chest tightened. My hands shook as I scrolled. Dozens of messages. Months of secrets. Hotel receipts. Photos. A life she had been living behind my back. And suddenly, everything made sense. The late nights. The business trips. The sudden, unexplained withdrawals from our joint account. I clenched my fists. My wife, the woman I loved, was cheating on me. And the worst part? She didn't even try to hide it. I didn't say anything right away. I needed a plan. Evidence. So I waited. That night, Lauren came home late. Hair messy. Smelling like cheap hotel soap. She smiled at me, kissed me like nothing was wrong. Long day at work, she sighed, kicking off her heels. I stared at her. Liar. I wanted to grab her. Shake her. Demand the truth. But I kept my cool. Because I wasn't just going to confront her. I was going to destroy her lies. But before I could, she destroyed me first. The morning I was supposed to confront her, the police showed up. They weren't just arresting me for domestic abuse. No. They were arresting me for fraud. Millions of dollars stolen from my company. Bank accounts traced back to my name. Evidence, documents, wire transfers, all linked to me. And the person who provided it? Lauren. My wife. She didn't just cheat on me. She didn't just betray me. She framed me. And now? Now I was looking at 20 years in prison. They say the worst prison isn't made of bars. It's made of lies. And I was trapped in one. Sitting in that interrogation room, watching the detectives lay out stacks of evidence against me, I realized something terrifying. Lauren had been planning this for years. The fraudulent bank accounts, opened in my name 5 years ago. The stolen money, slowly moved over time, making it look like I had been skimming from my own company. The paper trail, flawless. She didn't just wake up one day and decide to frame me. This was her plan from the start. And I never saw it coming. I thought a good lawyer could fix this. I was wrong. Sitting across from me, my attorney flipped through the case file, shaking his head. Jason, this is bad. I clenched my fists. I'm being framed. He sighed. The evidence says otherwise. That's when it hit me. Even my own lawyer didn't believe me. There was only one person left who could help me. Someone who knew Lauren almost as well as I did. Her best friend, Vanessa. She always seemed uneasy around me. Almost guilty. I called her from jail. Please, Vanessa, tell me the truth. What is Lauren doing? Silence. Then, a shaky breath. Jason, you don't understand. You were never supposed to find out. My heart pounded. Find out what? Lauren and Daniel, they planned this. All of it. I froze. What do you mean, all of it? And then she said the words that made my blood run cold. She never loved you, Jason. You were just a step in the plan. I thought the worst part of betrayal was losing someone you love. I was wrong. The worst part is realizing they never loved you at all. Lauren didn't just cheat. She hunted me. Chose me on purpose. And now, I finally knew why. Money. Power. And something even worse. Lauren and Daniel weren't just lovers. They were scammers. Professional con artists who had been pulling this trick for years. Finding wealthy, successful men. Gaining their trust. Framing them. Then vanishing with everything. And I was just the next victim on their list. I had two choices. 1. Accept my fate. Go to prison for a crime I didn't commit. 2. Find a way to expose them. And I wasn't going to rot in a cell. Not without a fight. So I did the only thing I could. I played the game. I pretended to give up. Made Lauren think she'd won. But behind bars, I was plotting. I was going to turn the tables. And when I did, she wouldn't see it coming. The key to beating a liar is simple. You make them believe their own lies. And that's exactly what I did. I let Lauren and Daniel think I was broken. That I had lost. That I would go down quietly. Meanwhile, I had Vanessa on the outside. And she had just given me something powerful. Proof. A recording. A conversation between Lauren and Daniel, laughing about how they set me up. It was enough to turn the tide. But I needed one more move. A move so bold, so reckless, that even Lauren wouldn't see it coming. The night before my trial, I made my final play. I leaked the recording to the media. And not just any media. Live television. The same news station that had broadcast Lauren's fake engagement. I wanted the world to hear her say it. To hear her laugh about ruining me. To see her face crumble when she realized she was exposed. And when the video aired, when the truth spread like wildfire. Lauren and Daniel's perfect little scam. It collapsed. By the time I walked into court the next morning, I wasn't the one on trial anymore. They were. Lauren was arrested. Daniel disappeared, but not for long. Because when people like him run, they always leave a trail. And I made sure he was found. As for me, I was free. But freedom felt different now. I had lost everything. My career. My reputation. My sense of trust. But I had something more important. The truth. And I knew one thing for sure. Lauren's game was over. But mine was just beginning. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Betrayal doesn't break you. It rebuilds you. Stronger. Smarter. And next time someone tries to play me, I'll be ready. Because now, I know how the game works. And this time, I'll be the one pulling the strings. Like and subscribe for more thrilling stories.